We are ready now to install our application which works together with MySQL. So to do it, I will import one of my old applications. So let's import to Eclipse. This is my database application. Okay, and as you can see, there is no POM XML. This is not a Maven application or Maven project, and therefore we need to convert it to Maven first. And this is application created in this way: file, new, and dynamic web project. So I think all your projects are created in this way. So we will need to convert such an application to Maven. Go to configure and convert to Maven. If you have a Maven application, you don't need to do it, just write your code. So I convert it to Maven, then I add some dependencies. So go to dependencies, I will add, okay, let's see what I use in my application. So when I go to properties, and you see that I use JSTL and MySQL connector. So let's connector is of the type of the version 5.1.42. Let's add these dependencies to my Maven POM file. So let's go to dependencies. Add first, I will just add Javax, and then you have here servlets. I want to add it. Then add JSTL, and I will add the MySQL connector. Just manually go to your browser and search for Maven JDBC MySQL, and the first link goes to the repository. But here is the version 5.1. I would like to have my own version, so go back, and here you see 5.1.42. Copy the code, go back to text editor where you have your POM, open and add this dependency here. When you use this dependency for the first time, you will see that next time you will be able to add it in the simple way where when you search for it in the dependency form. So this is it. So this is one thing. We have our dependencies. What we don't have the name of the application, and we would like to set it to the root because we want to install our application in the root directory. So let's open it. This is final name, as you can remember, and I will set it to root. Okay, save it. We have almost everything done, but there's one problem. When you have an application which you installed and tested locally, in most of cases you use the MySQL server name localhost, but now our MySQL server host is now MySQL. So this is what we have in our web console in this working MySQL deployment. So let's go back to your code if you have such a code created before. If not, just use the setting which I will show you now. So in my application, I have all this MySQL settings in DB info. So open it, and here you see my database is LNLC. The host is, okay, you will see maybe localhost or the IP. Change it to MySQL because we have chosen this host name when we created our application. Then okay, let's see what are the username and password. So I will use the root account, so the user is root and password is root. You can also use, in my case, it can be also user with the password. It doesn't matter. It will work. Just save it. So at this moment we have all the dependencies. We have the final name set to root, and also the settings in your database are okay. So now let's deploy it. So first we will just put our sources to the GitHub. So as you can remember, in our servlet tests directory we have this structure from the previous example. I will just delete the previous sources. Okay, and now I will go to my workspace, to my application, and now I need to copy these 3 elements. So web content must be copied because this is the structure of dynamic web project converted to Maven. So let's copy these 3 elements, go back to my servlet element, paste these 3 elements, and now just push it to GitHub. Go to your terminal, add everything, then commit. I will just commit with next commit, and then push it to your repository. Just wait a second. Go to GitHub. You see in my repository I have my application. So let's create a Tomcat application or Tomcat server on OpenShift. But then you will see there is a problem because we have 2 pods, and this is our limit. This is a maximum which we can have. So it will be not possible to start a Tomcat server. Therefore, because at this moment we don't need anymore our PHP-MyAdmin, our tables are, as you can see here. Okay, let's log in with root. See, we have our tables on the MySQL server. So let's go here and scale down this PHP admin item. So at this moment we have 1 pod free, only 1 is working here, so we can use it for Tomcat. If you want to use later PHP-MyAdmin, just you will scale down your Tomcat, and then you can just increase the number of pods, set it to 1 for MySQL. So let's go and add to our project our Tomcat. So search for Tomcat, choose Tomcat 8, okay, and then call it Tomcat, and then URL. Okay, let's go to your GitHub repository and copy the link of this repository where we have the new application, and then create. Okay, let's go back. You see we start with Tomcat. At this moment there is nothing. Let's wait a second. When it starts I will click on the view logs to see the logs. It takes time. Okay, it started. Just click on View Log to see the logs. I suggest to do it every time to see if everything is okay with this installation, with this deployment, this build and deployment. Okay, we clone. You can see the root war file is created and deployed to opt web server war root war. So it should work. Takes time. It will also take time to install the root war file. So 100% is complete. Okay, let's go to overview and take a look at this. So we deploy. It looks okay, looks fine. Okay, and of course, as you know from the previous example, it will take time to deploy. So I can click on the link. You see this web page. It means okay, everything is okay. Our Tomcat is working, but we just need to wait for deploying our root war file. Now let's click several times to refresh it. Takes time. JBoss needs to just install our war file. This is the time. And you see, this is our program. So this is a DBase test. We can add new product to the database. So, okay, first book, the description, just description and price, just set it to 20. Submit. Okay, go to the main and you can list the products and you see we have our book, and this book is of course taken from the database. We are not able now to open our MySQL because it's not working, because we need 2 pounds. So maybe add one more book to see that it works. Next book. And then main, and you can go to list all products and you see we have everything there. Also to show you something else which is connected with the limited resources you have on OpenShift, and when you have the free account, you have only 2 pods. So I would like to show you what happens when you just change your code and deploy a new version of your Tomcat application. So let's change a little bit our project just to show you that we have some changes. So let's go to our web content, and here you have the index file. Let's open this file. Okay, I have here a text editor. Open it in a text editor and change something. Okay, database test. Hello. Just write something here. Okay, save it. So you have a new version. So let's put it on GitHub. Add, commit, and then push. Let's go to GitHub to see that everything is okay. Web content, this is our index. And you see this hello here, it works. So we have a new version of our application, and we would like to deploy it to OpenShift. But the problem is when we will deploy here in Tomcat, we will have two pods here, the old one and the new one. But we have only two, and there is one MySQL pod which works. So before you just make your changes, just scale down this MySQL just for a second. Okay, takes time. It will be done in background. Then go to your Tomcat. Go to your builds. Here you see your builds, Tomcat. And we can start build. We can just create a new build for this application. Start build. And we can just click on logs. One more time, you will see that we will clone our repository and we'll compile it and do it. This process can be done automatically. So when you upload something new to GitHub, OpenShift can build it automatically, but because we have limited resources, it's not possible to do. Okay. Okay. The var file is deployed. Now we have the new application. And okay, let's go to overview, and I will show you why I told you we have limited resources. And you see here that at this moment you have at the same moment two instances, and this is our limit. And now, okay, we have only one. We can go back and scale to one our MySQL server. So this is deployed. We are waiting for this file, this build. I hope in the background Tomcat takes the root war file and deploy it. Just wait for MySQL. Okay, it seems MySQL is working. Let's go to Tomcat. And you see this hello here, which is the new part. When I click on the list all products, we can see all the products. One important thing, when you, for example, save some files inside of this Tomcat, and then you create a new build and deploy the new build, this storage is not persistent, so you will lose all your files. So the solution is to add some persistent storage. Okay, here you can create storage, but at this moment I'm not able to do it because I use the one item of persistent storage with my MySQL. So this is it. You can also, if you want, just clean up. So when you go to deployments, just go to Tomcat deployment. You have two, so you can click on this one and just you can delete it. You can do the same with your builds. Go to builds, to Tomcat, and you have two builds. We don't need this one, so delete it. When you, for example, have a new version and you think you click on the rebuild and it will take the new version from GitHub, this is not the case. It will just take the old one and rebuild it one more time. So build a new one when you want to create a new build. So in this way, go to Tomcat and then start new build. Okay, this is all for this part. In next part, I will show you how to use WAR files with your application.